Hello and welcome to yoga class. I'm so excited to have you here. We will get started with a blanket and on the mat for child's pose. Have a block handy, and if you know that you tend to need a little more length in some of the grasping poses or binds, then grab a strap or a towel. So we'll start with child's pose, knees wide. And if you need a block under your head to ease into this, bring your forehead to the mat or a block. And let's just take a relaxed child's pose with the arms out in front so you can bring the elbows down. And gently begin to lengthen the low back. Tucking the tail. See if you can bring even more length into the chest. Gently pressing into the elbows and turning the biceps up, shoulder blades down the back. Finding that contact with the floor, bringing the toes to touch. If you're feeling your hips at all, bring the knees a little bit wider. And then begin to lift the elbows and lengthen the arms, pressing into the palms. See if you can hollow out the armpits, and as well as hollowing out the center of the palm. And press into the thumb and forefinger. Widen the shoulder blades. And begin to take deep breaths into the lower abdomen, lengthening the chest. And becoming more fully embodied with the breath into all areas of the torso, the ribs, the waist, the lumbar spine, the neck, the shoulders. And then walk your hands over to the right side to bring your abdomen to lie on top of the right thigh. And then bring the left hand on top of the right hand. So really get a nice side stretch here in this modified child's pose. How's the breath? Can you lengthen the breath? Reaching, hollowing out the armpits, and then exhaling, bringing the hands back to center, and then walking them over to the left side, draping the abdomen over the left thigh. And then the right hand comes on top of the left hand. Drop the head and lengthen the right waist. It's okay if the hip comes up on the right side. Just really use this to lengthen the side body with the breath. Good. And let's come back to center. Inhale. Come up into tabletop. Bring the knees together. Press into the shins. And then inhale, lift the chest, lift the hips. Pull the elbows and shoulder blades back. And Then exhale, press everything away, arching the back, pulling the abdomen into the lumbar. And then exhaling, come down, inhale, lift into cow. Exhale, press away into cat. And let's bring some more movement into this, coming into cow. Exhale into cat. Coming down, hips to heels. Inhale, forward into tabletop. Exhale, raise the feet as you lower the body, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra with the heels raised. Exhale, press back, come into cat, child's pose. Inhale to tabletop, raise the heels to the glutes, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra with the heels up, elbows in. Exhale, pull everything down the back as you lift the heels back and rock back into child's pose. So this is sort of a modified vinyasa here. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, tabletop, lift the heels, bend the elbows, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra, reach the back of the head towards the heels. Exhale, zip everything up the midline, elbows in. Back, rolling over the knees, child's pose. Good. Inhale, let's come to tabletop. Tuck the toes under. You can remove your blanket or keep it where it is. We'll come into downward facing dog. Lift the hips, lengthen the body, heels back. And then find your down dog stance. So a little bit of external rotation in the arms, and then pressing that weight all the way back from the side ribs, the hips, into the heels. Keeping a little bit of a cow tilt in the hips so that those sits bones rise, but not losing or sinking in the heart or chest. Pulling the ribs in, filling the back body. And then take a look at your heels. Make sure that the heels are slightly turned outward so that the outer edges of the feet are parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Relax the head and neck. And breathe here. See if you can lengthen thighs back. Inner thighs back, torso away. And inhale, look forward, bring that right foot forward. Low lunge, look up. Lift the back heel, bring it forward to meet the right foot. And then inhale, lengthen the body, hands on the shins. Press the shins away, shoulders back, and then exhale, forward fold. Squeeze the thighs up, let the upper body be soft. And then inhale, press down in the heels, slight bend to the knees. Let's come up, open up the arms, reach to the ceiling or the sky. And exhale. Come into mountain pose. You can keep your hands in Samasthiti, Anjali Mudra. Squeeze the thighs, tuck the tail, pull the low belly in, lift the chest. And then if you need to exaggerate and roll those shoulders up by the ears to roll them down again, Lengthen the ears away from the shoulders. Good. Let's inhale, sweep the arms back, little back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, squeeze the thighs. Find that integrity. Stomach is up and in, pulling the, engaging the core here. Back body is poofed out. And then exhale, place the hands down. You can hop or take the right foot back, left foot back, coming into plank, and then knees, chest, chin as we just did, or chaturanga. Take a high cobra here, and exhaling, downward facing dog. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, lift the left leg back, sweep it forward, low lunge, look up, right foot to meet it. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale down, finishing our Surya Namaskar A. So using the simplicity of this movement to remind us of the quotidian life, our breath, our limbs, coming awake and aware to just the micro movements that feel really good moving in yoga. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the body with the breath. Exhale, draw the belly in, place the hands, step or hop back. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, moving at your pace. With the inhale, we're reaching the heart up into the sky, shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right foot back. Sweep it forward to the right wrist. Lower the back knee. Keep the toes the way they are, tucked under. And then inhale, reach the arms up, grasp the hands and create a pointer finger. Tuck the tail and sink the hips. And really engage the abdomen back towards the tailbone, the back ribs, as you reach the chest away. So we're not losing that integrity. Our abdomen is keeping our lumbar safe. And then exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches behind. And if you have that grab to the outside of the left foot, go ahead. Otherwise, if you don't have that grab or you don't have a strap, you can just come into a modified back bend here just to get that quads stretch. So more hips over left knee. Pull the heel into the glute. Rotate the chest open. Exhale. Come back to center. Lift the back knee and come into lizard pose. Heel toe the right foot to a 45-degree angle outside of the mat. And then you can keep your hands up like this, or bend the left arm, right arm is straight, or both elbows down into namaste. Or for an extra challenge and you're feeling you want to invigorate the core some more, walk the fingertips out to the left and then use the core to lengthen the front body away. So no matter where you are in lizard here, I want you to pull the right hip in, lift the left quad back, and invigorate the core with the breath. So when we do these postures correctly, using the breath, engaging the muscles we need to, it is quite difficult. It is quite calming to the mind. It is quite invigorating. You really can get a workout, a really good sweat once we get in the full posture. So don't cut any corners for yourself. Really ask for the most out of the posture. And then walk the hands back in or come back to palms. And then sweep the right foot back. You can do three-legged or regular chaturanga, east, chest, chin. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Good. Feel the sides of the body. Walk your dog or pedal your feet out. Inhale, lift the left leg. Sweep it forward to the left wrist. Right knee down. Keep the toes untucked as you sweep the arms under. Tailbone to left heel. Engage the abdomen. And sink the hips down. So this will stretch out the groin and the quad, but then where the breath is really galvanizing our strength is in our waist and low abdomen. Reach back behind, lift the heart, and exhale, right hand down, left hand back, twist. See if you can grab the outer edge of the foot, taking any variations you did on the other side. And then again, take a big inhale, reach the chest away, turn the left shoulder out so you can see above. Sometimes a lot of the core work is just having an upright posture, is really just getting our spine to be longer. And why do I emphasize core so much? Because I want you to have a safe practice. I want your lower back to be safe, your shoulders staying comfortable. That really happens with strong core in yoga. So coming into lizard, drop your grasp of the foot, heel toe the left foot to 45 degrees outside the mat. You can lift the back knee for more challenge and then have the palms on the mat, or maybe the right elbow down, maybe both elbows down, or for extra challenge, fingertips walk out 45 degrees to the right. And we're breathing, left hip in, squeeze the right quad up and back, finding our posture and our balance. Drop the head or lengthen the back of the neck. A couple more breaths here. See if you can breathe to both sides of the ribs. And then exhaling, walking the hands back. Take three-legged or regular vinyasa here. Three, meaning the left leg can hover if you're taking the three-pronged approach. And we'll meet back and down dog. Good. Inhale. Lift the hips. Exhale. Press into the hands. Reach the hips back. Roll those outer shoulders down. Take another breath here. Good. Inhale, reach the right foot back. Sweep it forward. Right wrist, look up. Exhale, left comes to meet it. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, strong legs. Leading with the heart, open arms. Lift into a little back bend here, strong legs. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, let's take a chair pose. So bring the legs together if they aren't already together. Inhale, sit back in your chair, bend the knees, weight in the heels. And then depending on your neck or your back, you can bring your hands into wide elbows, or you can straighten the arms and bring them about level with your forehead coming out. So looking between the arms and then externally rotating the thumb so the palms are coming up. So how's the core? Can you breathe? Tuck the tail slightly, lift the ribs away. And then press the tail away. Pull the ribs in. Sit into your chair a little deeper. Good. Exhaling, let's fold over the legs. Tuck the chin. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, place the hands. Vinyasa. Lifting the abdomen, sweeping the tailbone under. Open heart. And down dog. Good. Find your down dog, feel your strength. Inhale, lift the right leg. Sweep it forward. Left foot in. Let's come to warrior one. Bending the right knee. Right heel is back, scraping that outer ankle and outer heel down. And arms up. So as we ground into the feet, notice what happens in the core. The left side wants to come back. Let's see if we can draw the core towards the right knee. Engage the glutes. Bend into that right leg. And then exhale, let's come into warrior two. Front heel intersects back arch. Lift up through the inner thighs, tuck the tail, lift the chest, exhale, arms away. Look over that third finger of the right arm, lengthen the left shoulder back. Good. Let's come into reverse. Left hand comes behind the waist, raise the arm towards the ear, bend the right knee, and then I want to come into a side angle. So if you have your block handy, or you just want to start with bringing your right elbow to the knee, you can keep the left hand behind the waist, and then if it reaches to the thigh, press the thigh down, tuck the tailbone to the left heel. And then for getting more into the pose, you can drop that right hand. Left hand comes up by the ear, reaching towards the front of the room. Don't lose integrity with the right waist. Lengthen the right waist. Come off of the right hip if you can. And again, externally rotate the front leg. Good. Sweep the arm in front of the face, lengthen the right leg, come into triangle pose. Look up at the left thumb, squeeze the quads up, kneecaps up. And then if your hand is on the floor, maybe bring it to the shin, and then draw all the energy down the waist, down the tailbone, and then lift the right hand up by the ear. So a little more strength and lengthening. I'm going to keep my head facing straight on to the side. And then exhale, bring the left hand by the ear again, drop the right hand. Come into like a long triangle. So really draping the left arm towards the right foot. Still keeping triangle legs, but lengthening the left body, just lengthening the whole body. Good, and then let's pull everything up. Warrior two. Let's reverse our warrior. Reach, 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 reach. And we'll do this on the other side. Exhale, Vinyasa. Taking our time, listening to our body, using our breath to soften the mind. Expel any toxins. Enjoy the feeling of sweat and movement. And let's lift the left leg. Coming into warrior one, right heel down. And then grounding, of course, first in the heels. Outer right shin is down, outer right ankle is down, and then bending into that left heel. So I used to get really frustrated in this pose because there's so much going on. So I don't want you to feel that. I want you to embrace where you are. Just find more openness with the breath. See if you can relax the whole spinal column. Externally rotate the thumbs. And then coming into warrior two. Bring that right heel to align with the front heel, so the arch aligns with the front heel. And then bending, again, drawing up with the groin, tucking the tail, bending and arms away. Look over that third finger, and then lengthen the tops of the shoulders away. Let's reverse it, palm up, right hand behind the waist, and then reach with the left side waist. And then exhale. Let's come into side angle, so I'm going to keep my right hand behind my waist with the palm pressing down on the top of the thigh. And then I'm going to bring the left elbow onto my knee. Have a block if you had one on the other side at the ready. And then lift and lengthen the chest. Open the right hip. Tuck the left hip in an external rotation. And then let's take this into a full side angle. Release the bind, bring the right bicep by the ear. Maybe drop the left hand onto a block or outside the foot. And again, draw strength from that left waist. Try not to let it collapse onto the thigh. Roll the shoulder open. And then the right hand sweeps down in front of the face, lengthen the left leg back into triangle. So same action, strong lift to the kneecaps, and then bringing the hand onto the shin if it isn't there already. Look looking up at the thumb. And then let's have a little variation, a little play here. Draping the right hand, coming to lilt like a flower on the stem. Strong legs, and then just keeping that side as if we're between two panes of glass, just lengthening that right waist. And coming up into triangle. Let's lift the left hand by the ear and lengthen the left waist. Don't forget about that left quad lifting. Good. So these variations help us to strengthen our triangle. And then let's open it into warrior two. Reverse our warrior. Reach, reach, reach with the left hand. And then exhale, take your vinyasa. Upward dog, and downward facing dog. Good. And let's inhale, bring our left foot back, sweep it forward to between the hands, look up, exhale the right foot to meet it, inhale halfway, exhale forward fold. Inhale coming into chair, bend the knees, hips back, sit thumbs back, sweep the arms where it's comfortable. If it's elbows wide, lengthen the back of the neck, or taking the palms together or up a little bit straighter, up and out like a flower coming from a pot of soil. Sit into your chair, heels heavy, and then let's come into a back bend, straighten the legs, strong legs, tuck the tail, reach, 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 exhaling down. Good. Inhale, coming into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway. Exhale, right foot back. Left foot back, take a vinyasa. And then coming back into down dog. Good. Let's drop the knees here and come into puppy pose. Untuck the toes, and then walk the hands out, and then hammock the heart in between the hips and the hands, dropping the chest, the forehead, the nose, the chin, wherever reaches the mat, as we really externally rotate the biceps up, outer shoulders down, long side ribs, low ribs in. So more of a back bend here. Couple more breaths. See if you can lengthen the heart towards the hips. Back of the heart wide. And then exhale, bend the elbows, come on to baby cobra posture here. And then let's just bring our head to our hands and just wiggle it out. Good. And then bringing the forehead to the mat, hands by our hips. Lift the left leg and lengthen it away. Point the toes, place the top of the foot down. Lifted kneecap. Same on the right. Lift the right leg, lengthen it, top of the foot down. And then lift the shoulder heads. Shoulder blades down the back. And then inhale, lift everything up to lengthen into locust pose. Squeeze the thighs together. Lift the heels, calves, glutes, back body, shoulders, back of the head, like they're on strings. Go for a little more height. And then exhale, place your other cheek on the mat. Then from here, we'll take another Shalambhasana with our hands clasped. So again, align the feet with toes touching. Squeeze the thighs, lift the kneecaps. Bring your hands to a clasp, the thumbs on the sacrum. Pull the elbows in, and then lift the chest, and then draw the thumbs down as you lift and lengthen. From here you can lift your toes. Notice what that does. Breathing into the back body, lengthening the chest. Shoulders away from ears. And exhaling, coming down. Again, rocking it out. Just a little back and forth with the hips. And then we'll take this into Dhanurasana, bow pose. So let's start with the last pose we did. Pull the thighs together, toes to touch, hands in a clasp, lift the chest, and then just bend the knees. And grab one ankle, and then the other ankle, and then lift the chest as you press the shins towards the back of the room. Now some people might like to keep their toes pointed. Some might find it more beneficial to square the ankle, press away. Either way, the shins are pressing away, the tailbone is tucked, breathing into the back body, into the kidneys, lifting the heart. Take another breath to get a little bit higher, remembering to create space and ease. And then exhaling, undo, drop the legs, and just rest for a moment. So it's important to take rest between back bends. This helps to equilibrate. Good, let's take one more Dhanurasana. Zip the inner thighs together. Hands back, reaching towards the heels. Lift the chest, bend the knees. And then see if you can bring those heels towards the glutes. And then your foot should be almost right there to grab outside the ankles. And then again, press the shins away. And imagine the knees are a little bit weighted so that the heart and chest and body can be free. So really breathe into the abdomen. Detox the breath, small intestine, the bowel. Let's take another breath here. Up and down. And exhale. Whew. Other side. Cheek to mat. Good. And then let's come to our hands and knees in tabletop, and then grab that blanket that you had at the beginning of class for padding, and then taking it into a simple, normal quarter fold for padding so that the shins completely align, are completely padded there. I'm going to come into Ustrasana, camel pose. So sit back on your heels with the toes tucked under. And then lift the chest, hands on the thighs. And then let's come to hips over knees. And bring the palms into your imaginary jeans pockets. Tuck the tailbone, and then imagine strength, like pillars of strength in your quads. So bring that tailbone down, strong quads, and then pull the elbows together as you lengthen the back of the neck, shoulders down. And then start to reach with the crown of the head. So don't just immediately drop the head back for the chin to come up. Reach with integrity with the crown of the head, nice long back of the neck. So as the elbows come in, the side ribs are coming up. It should feel quite comfortable after a moment. And then we'll exhale, sit back into your heels. Neutral spine here. Good. Let's take this again. This time we can maybe reach to our heels. Sit up, hips over knees, and then you can bring your hands to your imaginary jeans pockets. Elbows in, lift the side ribs, almost like Monopoly Man with the thumbs under the armpits. Like imagine, or if I were to come around and lift with my thumbs. You might even try that with your thumbs under your armpits, like hooking the pec. Tucking the tailbone, strong legs again. Engage the quads. And then reach back. If you have Monopoly Man thumbs or jeans pockets hands, reach one hand back to the heel and another. And then press the hips forward, over the knees just again, like we started, and reach the back of the neck long. So that the heart is the center where the head emanates. The root of the neck comes from the heart. Take another big breath here to get nice and open and long from the neck. And then exhale, gently coming down. Resting the hips to the heels. And then just coming to our seat, and placing our hands onto our heart. Feeling that beautiful heartbeat that is connected to everything. And say some words of gratitude to yourself about this day in creation. Feel gratitude for so many things in our life. Such a beautiful, amazing life that we are given. Say thank you. And then let's come to seated posture. And then just gently come to your seat. Bring a strap or a towel. We'll come into a forward bend as a counter pose. So if you have your reach, bring the feet out in front of you. Keep a nice generous bend here. Rock from side to side, pull the flesh of the buttocks out. And then keep a nice bend and reach with your towel or your strap around the ball of the foot. So after a lot of back bends like that, it's important to take it slow with the forward bend and just ease into it, okay? So inner thighs down, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. So I want the pecs and the heart to lift higher than the shoulders. And then squeeze the inner thighs down. Just gently lower the legs. Maybe they come straight, maybe not. And begin to walk the hands up your strap or your towel. So sits bones are moving back in time as the pubis and inner thighs are moving down and in. And then don't forget about the front body. Don't let it cave. Really let the front body lead from the heart forward. So this is engaging our back muscles in the opposite way that we were doing with our back bends. So get to a place, if you want to grab your feet, the outer edges of your feet, or peace fingers to toes, pressing the inner ball of the foot away. Get to a point where you start to feel it really stretch into the back body, so the lumbar spine is getting longer. And if you're super flexible and you come down so that your face is in between the knees, calves, and that's always an option. So go where it feels you get the most out of the pose. For me, it feels good to be semi-upright, just keeping my back super straight, lifting the chest higher than the shoulders. Kind of messes with our perception of space, doesn't it? How can our chest be higher than our shoulders? Well, in yoga, anything's possible. Good. And then let's come rolling onto our back. And knees up. Bring the heels towards the hips, the glutes. And then roll the shoulder blade underneath, pinning it under the chest so that the chest was a little bit open. And then walk the heels out and knock the knees in for a moment with the hands on the abdomen. And just take a moment to really pull the sacrum in and rest the hips, rest the chest. Feeling that weightiness on the sacrum. Relaxing the ankles, the feet, the shins. And then let's heel toe the feet together and draw the heels in closer to the hips. And then one last back bend or two in bridge pose. Let's tuck the tailbone, lift the hips, and then press into those heels, grabbing the ankles or pinning the fingertips under the heels, and then lifting the hips even higher. I like to super roll my shoulder blades down. And then oftentimes I see people kind of splaying their knees out wide. Let's really roll the inner knees down and keep the legs parallel. So that'll keep a wide sacrum. Last breath. And then exhale, rolling down. That feels pretty nice after sort of a more freer back bends. Just coming back to bridge where we're really grounded with the heels in the back of the heart is a really nice counter pose to sort of stabilize the spine even more. And let's take one more. Draw the heels in, tuck the shoulders under, lift the hips. Roll the shoulders under and press into those heels. I like to put my hands underneath my heels. See if you can lift a little bit higher. Just like we did wide sacrum, inner thighs down, hips wide. Keep a wide heart here. Despite the shoulders going down the back, the heart is open. Widen the collarbone, relax the front of the neck. Coming down gently. And then undo the legs. Just windshield wiper the knees or let the legs come slack. Good. And then for those who want to do shoulder stand, take a blanket underneath and roll your hips up so that the palms hold the hips, maybe walking the heel of the hand up the back in shoulder stand. Or if you'd like to come into headstand, then I suggest doing it in the middle of the room. If you have this in your practice, you can go into headstand. If you aren't used to doing it in the middle of the room, practice the prep. So the prep is going to be sitting on our heels. We're going to create a basket with our hands. The left pinky for me is in front of the right pinky. And then I'm placing both pinkies on the mat with a 45-degree angle of my forearms. And I'm really feeling that ulna bone, the bone between the wrist and the elbow, not right square on the bone. And then I'm placing the back of my head, my occiput, in the basket of my palms. So even if you're a pro at headstand, there's always something to learn. If you aren't comfortable doing headstand in the middle of the room, this is a great place to start. So what I'm going to do is, once I have that foundation, I'm going to pull my shoulder blades up my back, untuck the toes, and then down dog legs. And then eventually, with the down dog legs, we're going to walk the feet up as the top of the shoulder moves away from the hands. So the top of the shoulder comes towards your toes. So that keeps integrity so you're not collapsing your neck. You can walk your feet up or come into tippy toes. Maybe rocking up to tippy toes and down again, just to sort of experiment what it feels like hips over shoulders. Maybe lift one knee to bend, with the other on tippy toes. So this is where you'll be if you've never done it in the center of the room before. And it's not that hard. Once you balance, you can almost feel ready to do it. So if you're already a headstander, go ahead and once you get hips over shoulders, bend the knees, one knee, both knees, and come into your headstand. So wherever you are, if you took shoulder stand, I'm having a little trouble today. If you took shoulder stand
Take a few more breaths. Headstand, 10 breaths. So I do knees over shoulders with my heels towards my glutes in the beginning so I can find the balance. For those of you practicing in the center of the room for the first time, just play with your balance and come into child's and try again. Once I find my balance, I extend my full leg. And then in these inversions, it's important to really reach the pelvis up and away. Pull the navel in, lengthen the inner thighs, reach from the balls of the feet. Headstand, folks. The tops of the shoulders are moving away from the hands. Try to keep the weight off of the head and more on the forearms. If you want to get creative, you can twist your hips to one way. So the left hip is back, right hip forward. Turn the other way. Once you finish your 10 breaths, come into a pike and slowly lower. If you're already in child's pose, make your way to Shavasana. Shoulder stand, folks. Come into plow pose, knees to ears pose. And then we'll all make our way to Shavasana. I just came out of headstand, so I'm going to go into child's pose for a few breaths. Sort of reset the blood and the spinal cord. Yoga is such a humbling practice that brings that light energy of playfulness and openness like a child, like our child's poses. Really opening our heart like a child. So once you're in your Shavasana, just gently open the palms. Let the legs be loose and splayed out. If you need something under your knees, or if you're feeling your low back, you can always roll a blanket underneath the gluteal fold, that crease under the butt where the leg starts. Or even a little roll under the shoulders can feel nice. Just make your Shavasana really feel good for you. And closing the eyes and just noticing the breath, and again coming back to that space of gratitude, appreciation. Sometimes we can find ourselves in life in a place of hopelessness or helplessness. It can feel like we're falling into a hole or there's no end to the pain. And in those moments, the most important thing we can do to really change everything, to really turn and renew and resurrect, is
having gratitude. It comes to gratitude. We can always be thankful for something. We may not have it perfect. We may like this to be like that, or like that to be like this. It may not be the best or the most this or that, but we can always be grateful for what it brings us, for how we can live. We can live. And I'm so grateful to be able to share this practice with you. Keep in this gratitude and let it spread all over the body. Let it infiltrate the head, the face, the facial muscles, the back of the head. Let it go through the limbs, into the fingers and toes. Let it really weight the heart and the sacrum, the back of the head, the heels. In that crescent moon, like we're being hammocked in space in a gentle baby's arm, like we're being held like a baby. And taking some breaths here. You're welcome to stay in this posture for a few more minutes or as long as you need. And I wish you a wonderful, beautiful day, an open heart full of gratitude. Namaste.